A moonlit night, a glint of shiny steel, many clues yet uncovered. Guys, gals, and NB pals, it's time for another episode of Let's Get Wildemount. I am Gil Ramirez, your humble dungeon master, and with me are a group of extraordinary players. Let's go around and introduce yourselves, starting with Michael.
Hello, folks. My name is Michael Sinclair II. I go with Michael Crits everywhere, and I'm playing Lirros, the Shatterkai Blood Cleric today.
All right, thank you. Kelli.
Hello, my name is Kelli, mostly known as the Opera Geek, and I'm playing Odessa, your resident gunslinger and connoisseur of fine baked goods.
Thank you. Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike. A lot of you might know me as Mike, I guess, and I am playing Harmond, the disastrous Order of the Lycan Blood Hunter.
Thank you. Aki.
Hi everybody, I'm Aki and I'm playing Loom, the arcane trickster fire ganassi rogue.
Thank you. Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick, also known as Nick the Tiefling around the internet. I am here to play Ekris, the Tiefling Paladin Oath of Vengeance.
Thank you. And finally, but not least, Omega.
Oh, hi, I'm Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard, and I am playing Norvad, the Hollow One, Way of Mercy monk.
Thank you. So we have a little bit of house cleaning to do. We're going to shout out our sponsors because they are wonderful and they keep the lights on. And so we're going to start with, let's go and Kelli. You're muted, I believe.
I was surprised by that choice. I was looking for my dice, which now I don't have time to get. Hello, I'm Kelli. There is no witty pun this week because my husband said that was practically an attack ad on him. So, listen, go to Die Hard Dice, everyone. They're one of our sponsors. We love them on the show. I love them personally. I have a lot of Die Hard Dice. They make metal, resin, all sorts. Plus, you can get battle mats to roll them on and little magnetic trays. So when you look, Aki, there you go. When you roll your beautiful metal dice, you don't mess up your tabletop. So you're going to use code GETWILD, that's wild with an E, to get a discount when you go to Die Hard Dice.
Thank you. And we have Mike. You are muted.
What if the silence spell is on everyone today?
The silence spell was on. If you want access to more fun spells like that, check out Mage Hand Press, where you can... Sorry, that was the best segue.
That's great. That was perfect.
Where you can pick up really cool custom classes, like the War Mage class that lets you create a mage that specializes in cantrips. That's awesome. It's like Rogue +1. Or sorry, Warlock +1. I know 5 things in my world. I'm sorry. Which is why I rely on Mage Hand Press to know things for me. You can pick up other really great things like Dark Matter, a 5e setting completely based in space with all new subclasses, items, and monsters galore. So make sure to check them out at store.magehandpress.com.
Thank you. Yeah, while I get this going, Aki.
Hey, are your pants legendary? They can be when you check out Legendary Pants, a new dice company with dice to drink for. They have an ongoing Kickstarter for wine dice inspired by the sophisticated beverage we all love. I know, I in particular, very much love wine. From the classic red wine and Vino Verde to champagne and even bourbon, these click-clacks can be shared amongst friends as you clink your drinks together with glee. Head to their Kickstarter and pledge today.
Thank you so much. Nick, please.
All right. Hey, do you drink as much coffee as I do? Well, I wouldn't be surprised. You might see me fill up my coffee cup from time to time on stream. But if you're looking for some great coffee, check out Found Familiar. Let's Get Wildemount is proud to partner with them. They're the place to get D&D themed specialty coffee, and every bag sold helps fund and support artists, content creators, and other small businesses. The art on the bags is absolutely incredible, and the flavor of the coffee is next level, which is always a great thing in D&D to level up. Make sure you use the code GETWILD with an E to get a certain percentage off your purchase today. Highly recommend it.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's go to Adventuring Kit. Folks, you can check out the newest digital toolset for D&D and tabletop gaming. Adventuring Kit it's in alpha stages right now, and you can be one of its many testers, from dice rolling to character notes. It's the newest place to get all your stuff. Basically, if you don't want to get bogged down by the systems and whatnot, you go and use their use what you want philosophy, and that will pretty much it'll allow you to choose what features you want without worrying about being bogged down. With accessibility as its forefront thought, Adventuring Kit is the perfect one-stop shop for your tabletop needs. A note, the character sheets and map design features are not yet available. I don't know if that's changed by now, but check out the Discord for more information. And finally, Omega.
Yes, I want to shout out some of our product sponsors who are, I guess, friends who have helped us along the way. I want to give a big shout out to Wizards of the Coast for hosting this stream. You can actually go to twitch.tv/D&D as well to see the stream running. And if you're there, hey friends, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to them for being awesome and supporting the work that we do. Also, a big shout out to D&D Beyond, who was one of our favorite folks for all of your D&D needs in a digital form, from books to adventures to classes to whatever you may need, even dice. You can do all that at dndbeyond.com. And today we'll be giving away a digital copy of the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, the setting we are using for this show. We'll be starting that sometime around the break. So yes, you do need to be here to win this this digital copy. So again, we'll be giving it away around break, so stick around for that. And then lastly, we want to give a huge shout out to Idle Champions. Idle Champions is an amazing game in conjunction with Wizards of the Coast. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, computer? Stop. Look, this is live, y'all. This is how we do this. 1 second. Boom. You can play with different iconic D&D characters like Drist. You can even play characters from fellow the TTRPG shows like folks over at Heroes of the Plains. Okira Ildrex just became their newest champion. So make sure you check out idlechampions.com. It is available on PC and Mac on Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iOS, and all Android devices. If you look in the chat, !code, you can get the code to win an Electrum chest. It'll pop up on the screen as well. So check out them as well. Thanks.
All right, and if that's all for our sponsors, I'd like to thank the man behind the curtain, Myth. He is quite literally the glue that holds this whole stream together. But with that, it is time to get wild. Welcome back. So, the group of adventurers set out into the night to find out clues that might give them any kind of inkling as to where the blight is coming from. They were given the permission from the Crown's Guard to walk around and see what they could find out. However, in the night, they found a shadowy figure on the rooftops. They followed the shadowy figure into an alley. and the entire group minus Lirros, because he's just laying down in the Candleglow Inn, and hopefully when he wakes up, he'll find out where his companions have gone to. But in the moment, right now, Odessa, you have a blade to your throat. I'd like you to roll a perception check as you have this blade up to your throat.
Okay.
You hear, "Why are you following me?"
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You see the blade on the bottom of your throat, and you kind of look down a little bit. You get the general figure in front of you, and she's definitely much shorter than you are, but she's a female figure, black robes, black hood, and there is actually another knife down by your waist site, pointed near your pepper box, or your what do you call it?
It's a pistol.
It's a pistol. All right. Right next to your pistol.
Okay. Friend, I think we have had a fundamental breakdown in communications, in that we have had 0 communications before knife.
Yes. Yes, we have not had any communications before. Why are you following me?
I'm not. Why were you on the roof? I just got interested.
You're not with the Crown's Guard, are you?
Fran, do I look like I would fit in a Crown's Guard uniform?
At this point, we have... Just a moment. I believe it was Loom and Harmond who were stealthing up behind her, correct? And behind them two, we have Ekris and Norvad. They are not currently, I believe, they're not... Sorry about that, folks. Things are happening. Sorry about this. Sorry.
It's a live show during a pandemic. Things happen.
So Norvad and Ekris, you see Odessa stop. Loom and Harmond, you notice that these two, the figure has gone around the corner, and Odessa has stopped mid-stride, and they're just right there. I mean, right at the corner of this building that you were following along.
Can we see the figure that has stopped Odessa?
You do not unless you walk out into the this cross section of the alleyway.
Okay, I'm gonna keep stealthing to make sure that whatever's got Odessa stopped.
Yeah, I believe you got both you and Loom got a dirty 20 on your stealth roll. I'm going to continue to ride that out for a bit. It was a pretty good roll, so you consider yourselves stealthily hidden right now.
Okay.
I'd like to get closer to Odessa if it's possible.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception checks, both of you.
All right. Gonna use these wine dice here.
18.
18?
That is a... Let's see. That is a 16.
16. Okay, you both notice a figure in front of Odessa. You can't see the second blade because of Odessa's long coat, but you do see the one that is basically a reverse blade pointed at her throat. You hear a little bit of whispering between them two.
What do Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, would it be possible for me to stealth behind the person that has the blade at Odessa's throat and put my blade at that person's throat?
You'd have to go in front of their vision, unless you can climb the building that is adjacent to all of you right now.
Yeah.
You'd have to go in front, and you would probably be seen.
I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay. Roll for me a acrobatics or athletics check of your choosing. There are crates next to you. There is a barrel as well. The roof is about 10 feet up, but there is a ledge that you can grab on.
Oh, actually,
The
22. You grab onto it just fine. Your leg, you bring your first leg over, and you're not jumping necessarily as you are so much just vaulting over and allowing your body to kind of rest there for a moment before picking yourself up and then stealthily creeping over. I'm gonna have you roll another stealth check though, as this time you are on a slanted roof. Harmond, what were you?
No problem. I think, yeah.
Oh,
Harmond
yeah.
wants
I was going to tell Loom that I'll distract the person while Loom goes behind. Yeah.
Okay.
And the stealth is a
18. All right. So the tiling on this roof is secure for the most part. You make your way stealthily over to the edge, and obviously Harmond just told you about that little secret plan that you want to exact. And Ekris and Norvad, you have now go ahead and roll me a perception check just to see if you can see Loom vaulting up to the floor there, because you may not have heard this conversation that they are playing. So
That's a 19 for me.
19.
Well, with
okay.
a natural 1, I don't notice much.
No. So Ekris, you don't see anything, but Norvad, you definitely saw Loom vault up to the roof, and you can see them on silhouetted against the night sky there. The moon is still shining a light pale glow around the area. So you see them in just a silhouetted form creeping over up to the edge.
I look over at Ekris, or I don't look over, I just kind of subtly lean over. Will you be fine back here? I believe I need to go further up.
Yeah, if you see something that makes you think there's somewhere else to be, go for it. I'll stay back.
I would say come and follow, but I do not believe you can scale heights as I can.
Yeah, this makes it a little hard.
Okay, and then I'm going to find the nearest go like in the alleyway or wherever. Just start trying to get closer. I'm kind of climbing up. I'm trying to get to somewhat of a vantage point as well, just to get a lot closer to them.
Okay, you do so, and now you're pretty much not necessarily out in the open, but the figure notices that there's a bit of a shuffling around Odessa, and she begins to kind of take a little bit of a self defense position. And so Loom, you are above now. Everyone else has kind of gathered somewhat nearby. Lirros, go ahead and roll me a d20.
All right, I will roll a d20 here. 13.
13, okay. I will say you will come. So if we're talking rounds here, I'll have you come back at or wake up and do anything at the third round. Is that fair there? Perfect.
Yep,
cool.
totally fair.
All right. So Loom, you are creeping over. You see the figure there with the two knives pointed at Odessa. Norvad has kind of crept over. You see Harmond has also moved over. And Ekris, I believe, is kind of nearby, but not right at the forefront there, hanging back just a slight bit.
Quick question. From where I was, if I go using my full movement and step of the wind, that's 120 feet. How close can I get?
You can get right up on her face, basically, yeah.
So I'm not going to get right up on her face, but I'm going to get very close.
Okay,
And
how close? Like within 10 feet away?
Within 10 feet, and I don't think if I see Loom doing something, I'll be behind them, but I don't want to mess up with whatever they want to do, but I'm going to get close enough to not be so far back.
Okay, Loom is still on the roof, and so you can get about, I would say 10 feet away, and that way you allow for anything to happen in front of you to happen.
Perfect, thank you.
Great. So you are basically like 5 feet away from Odessa.
Okay.
Within reach, I guess, if you should say. And let's go with Harmond. Where are you right now at this moment?
Yeah, so I'm walking up to the person that has their knife at Odessa's throat, and I'm going to draw my sword and point it at the person. once I'm within view.
Okay, so are you going to be within 10 or 5?
I'll go within 5.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 feet.
Great. So now you've kind of made your way around Norvad and are now poising, to attack, or at least just hold up the blade to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at them and tell them it'd be best if you drop the knife about now.
She looks around and notices that there are much more people around her, and all right, I think we come off on the wrong foot, right?
Yeah,
So
I just sorry. Yeah,
her blades begin to go back to her side, and she's looking for a little bit of reciprocation here. She's not pulling them down completely, but she's slowly bringing them down and not backing away from as far as the 5-foot space necessarily, but she's kind of backing away somewhat. What do you do?
All right, come on, person, black cloak, shuffling around the middle of the night. Come on, put the knives away. Let's talk.
She gives you a quizzical look as she basically looks around all of you. None of you are supposed to be out right now. She puts
We have permission.
Hold on, I've got a note somewhere, and Odessa's patting her bags.
All right, she has put her daggers away, and she's now crossing her arms. At this point, Loom, she looks up at you and notices that your head is kind of just creeping right over the roof there.
Loom just grins at her.
Wow, you must have planned this pretty well.
Odessa actually looks up and with Loom's stealth roll. Odessa did not see Loom do that. She's, they are so cool. You have no idea. She's whispering to the person at the blade at her throat.
Right. The blade's gone now. Again, the blades are the 2 daggers that she had are at her side in their sheath, and she's she had her hands in a crossed arm position, but she's starting to realize that because the blades have not yet been drawn or dropped yet, as far as Harmond is concerned, she's gonna start to kind of like do the whole I'm innocent thing, and she kind of keeps her hands up. Look, I don't want any trouble. I am rushed. I'm looking. I'm doing stuff. Can we just?
Why are the things that you do require you to sneak around?
Why are the things that you do require you to sneak around?
We are not sneaking. At least we weren't until we saw you.
So are you telling me that you're sneaking because you thought we were sneaking, which is why we started sneaking around you?
Partially, yes.
Sneakception.
I'm sorry. I put my sword away. Yeah, this is a lot to deal with right now.
Look, you don't look like you are really with the Crown's Guard. I know you said you got a permission slip. Is that what I heard? And she'll turn to you, Odessa.
Yeah, hold on. I put it somewhere, but it might have gotten lost with the bakery receipts. You can talk to my friends, though. I'll find it eventually.
At that point, Norvad jumps down, note in hand. He picked it up on the way.
Okay.
I have a passive perception of 17. If it was dropped, I saw it.
Okay.
I believe you were looking for this.
My note. Thank you.
The shadowy figure looks at the paper being handed over, and well, look, I don't care that you are with the Crown's Guard or helping the Crown's Guard or whatever, but I've got pressing business. If you don't mind, we could just depart ways here. Let me go on my way. I'll let you go on yours.
You decided to attack one of ours, even if you did not act on that attack.
You decided to follow me. I was worried about my own well-being. I believe. Understand why I did that.
I believe we thought you were a gnoll.
You thought? She begins to just hysterically laugh, and she almost keels over with laughter. And she realizes that she's out in the middle of the night and covers her mouth. Look, I think we might be on the same side here.
Are you a gnoll?
No, I am not. She pulls back her hood, revealing a fair face with dark raven hair, green eyes. No, do I look like a gnoll?
I mean, you could be
am
a special Noel.
unsure.
Full in
my
disguise.
God. You can't be serious. How new are you? How green are you all? You're not.
I mean, I'm
from
wearing a
around
lot
here.
of green, friend, so I don't think that's a great question between us.
That being said, I do believe there is a bit of a leg pulling happening here, I think. And Loom then
Quite
takes a look
possibly.
at Norvad and takes a look at Odessa and is suddenly not entirely sure.
Norvad, I'm so proud of you. You were making some jokes.
Was that a joke? I thought I was assessing the situation.
No, you made a joke. We'll talk about it later.
I do
He's
not
really good at
understand, but
sarcasm.
okay.
You were really funny.
Ekris, you can come out now.
Just noisily
Clonk, clonk,
jangles.
clank, clank, clank.
yeah.
Yep. The scrubbing of metal against the cobblestone floor as you make yourself known. Just, oh my God, how many of them are you? Lirros,
We
at
actually
this
have
point,
one more.
Lirros, at this point, you stir yourself from your rest at the Candle Glow Inn. You see that your companions are not in the room with you, and so you head downstairs. There, Thaddeus tells you that your companions have gone out in the night, even though he questioned their motives. But now you're free to do as you wish at this moment.
I'll tell the innkeeper. Thank you. I'm going to go see what they're up to.
Yeah, all right. Well, he kind of tips his imaginary hat towards you and continues working at some books. He's got bookkeeping that he's got to do, so he's just kind of focused on that. There's not much activity down right now in the bottom of the
Okay,
Candle Glow.
perfect. I was gonna ask, can I make a quick perception? But if everything seems copacetic, I'm just gonna head out.
Yep.
then.
Great. You head on out into the night. You don't hear anything. Go ahead and make a perception roll. Just give me something there.
Oh man. Okay. My rolls are actually good, so I'm just happy. Sorry.
Okay.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. So at this moment, you head out. You're kind of doing a little stretch, right? Watching the Crown's Guard as they move in small groups and sparsely throughout the city. You think you hear a little bit of mumbling off to your right. And that's enough of a lead to follow it. You do make your way down to the alleyway. You continue to hear that muffling. You hear now at this point a little bit of laughter. And it's from a woman that you're not too you're pretty sure it's not Odessa. And so you make your way down to that area. Again, now at this point, you see Ekris kind of, with his arms at his side, just standing and looking at something you cannot see right now, but he doesn't seem to be in any kind of danger, and is not poised for any kind of attack. So you assume that everything might be okay. But the voices do get a little bit louder as you approach.
I'm gonna say out to the group as I approach. So, what kind of trouble do we get ourselves into?
Odessa and Ekris, you can see him approach you as you're near the alley, the main alleyway there.
Lirros, glad you could join us.
Oh
Actually,
my goodness, you feeling better?
I
Yes.
presume you would also be able to see him moving down to because you're on the roof now. So
It must be the allergies in the area. I'm quite new to this place, and
Oh gosh, that's always bad. I'm telling you.
it's a new thing that I've been working on ever since it's new.
I have a pro tip for allergies.
Is it honey?
Yeah, local honey is
Yes.
usually the best way to take care of those.
I can confirm
I
that
hate
works.
to interrupt what I'm sure is a wonderful reunion. I have to get going. Can we just please let me go?
I have one question for you.
All right, what is it?
If you are not a gnoll, as you have claimed not to be, then what should we refer to you as?
She leans back a bit, questions herself a moment. You may call me Sundra. I am part of a small group known as the Vigil. We are somewhat of a neighborhood watch, if you will. We're just trying to figure out where the blight is coming from. It's been ravaging our farmlands here. Like, again, I can tell that you're new here, so I'll give you a pass. However, I really need to figure out the source of this, and I might have a lead. So,
Oh, but that's what we're working on too. Mostly.
is it? Do you have a lead? Do you have any leads?
We do now.
I mean, now we have you.
I see.
Sundra? Sundra. Okay. I'm Odessa. Hi.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hello. I mean, it's much better. Odessa throws her pistol haphazardly into her coat and it just disappears. Now, listen, my friends and I mean, we're really just absolutely chuffed that we met you. What's your lead?
Well, I was going to head north outside. There is an old cemetery. But, you know, I think that can wait for a moment. I feel I need to catch you all up. If that's indeed what you're going after, then yes, follow me. I'll have you meet the rest of my team. If that's all right with you all.
I mean, that definitely works for us, or me.
We're here to gather information, right?
And to help the people of all, if we can.
Yeah, I'll have to check my schedule, but
You have a schedule?
no, I have no schedule. Let's go.
Don't be a
Oh.
jerk, Harmond.
Please lead the way, Sundra.
You are really funny, Norvad. Good job.
I still do not understand where said humor came from, but thank you for acknowledging it.
Don't worry. I'll always acknowledge it.
She motions you all closer and she says, follow me. Try to keep out of sight. She looks at you, Odessa. Keep a low profile. In fact, the only reason why I saw you at all was because you stand out. And there's no crowd here, so it's just you, if you understand what I'm...
I mean, I can hang back, everybody. Seriously, you can go.
No,
Nonsense.
come with us. Just crouch down a little lower, like a foot lower.
I do not believe that should be a problem. Again, we have the ability to traverse these lands given to us by the Crown's Guard. You do not.
I do not.
So we'll follow you as long as you are stealthy.
Very well.
So is there a reason why the Crown's Guard doesn't like you guys?
We operate outside of the law, so they are overburdened as it is, and we just don't really want to have them be a nuisance on our side. They question everything. So.
Oh, great. Vigilantes. Cool. Wonderful.
Not necessarily. Like I said, we are a neighborhood watch type of deal. Just follow me. I'll tell you more about it later. And she, through the alleyways, she talks about how she was going to basically hop rooftop to rooftop to meet up with her allies. And eventually you come across an old cellar that looks like it belonged to a wine house just above it on the first story there. But the cellar has been since blocked off from the wine house, and she makes
Wine
her way
house
over.
is called Legendary Decants.
Nice.
This is one of the many reasons I
Circle.
love you.
And you know what?
That's canon now, by the way,
That's the way it is.
Gil.
Yeah, no, that's the way it is. Legendary Decants. And she makes her way over to a lock there, and you see her begin to kind of pretend to unlock it. Go ahead and roll me perception check, Loom.
Yeah. Nope. I'm going to instead fling my dice all
Anyone
over
can,
the
yes. Anyone
floor.
can, but
No,
it's mostly anyone can.
I was asking specifically because I also have training.
Yes, you do.
That's all. I was just curious. It's like if
Sure, go for it.
That's all.
Odessa does not. She is very intent on being small.
So what'd you roll, Loom?
That was a 13 for me.
13, and Norvad.
23.
So Norvad, she's trying to shield herself from trying to open the lock there, and it looks like she's got a key in hand. However, Norvad, you notice that in between her fingers are a set of thieves' tools, and while it looks like she's about to insert the key, has with her other fingers inserted the thieves' tools and click, open the lock, and she pretends again to pull out the key, pockets that, and Loom, you don't really notice that. You just think that she's opening the lock by normal, and before she opens it fully, though, she gives a little tap, a little tut, 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 and the doors open. You see this large Goliath type figure. Hey, what's all this then? It's okay, Zaldek. Just can we bring them in here? We've got papers out and about. We got to clean up first. All right, I'll give you 1 minute. And you watch as Zaldek moves back down the cellar there, and you hear a bunch of noises and murmurs down below, and you hear a shuffling of chairs and papers being moved over and whatnot. And finally, he comes back and goes, "All right, come on down." And Sundra has now walked next to Zaldek, and you can hear a little bit of murmuring between them two, whispers, if you will. If Norvad and Loom, if you want to go ahead and roll me another perception check this time. Listen check, same check.
And right before any walking happens, I would definitely have saddled up to Loom and just, I do not understand. They have in their possession a key, but yet used other means to unlock the door.
Sometimes other means of unlocking doors, even if you have a key, can be more fun. Or perhaps the key is what we like to call a red herring.
Then why show the key if you're just going to unlock it anyway? Is it to
Bait and switch?
Do I hear this conversation happening? Am I close enough to?
Go again. Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
There are lots of things
19.
that people do that I don't quite understand. I have a key, I'm going to use it.
You do hear that, yes. Even if it's just a few words missing from the sentences, but you do pick up what they are talking about.
Sometimes in secret entrances, you produce false keys in case someone goes down, and it's more of a trap than using a lockpick that someone would think there's a way to get in. So the key could also be a trap in case we think we can, I don't know, ascertain that key from them and try and get in ourselves.
Well,
From
that is
behind you,
also
you hear,
possible.
"Oh my God, Lirros, you're so cool."
That is also very possible. Perhaps using the key triggers a trap.
I walk in. He does not comprehend the idea of faking.
That being said, I got a 22 on my perception check.
Oh shit, you did say that. Oh no, I guess rolled. It was a 15, so 22 as well, actually.
Both of you do hear the conversation, and it's basically Zaldek making sure that Sundra has made a wise decision here. He's just questioning her motives at this point, and she's trying to just placate him and just, no, it's fine. It's look, just trust us. We need all the help we can get, right? And the Goliath just kind of shrugs off the conversation and makes his way to the main door there in the cellar. And you do see a lot of old barrels and bottles from this winery, and a lot of it does seem to be still, full of liquids. A lot of the barrels are actually empty, but the bottles along the shelf all around the perimeter of this, you're in a closed off room. It's about 20 feet by 15 feet. There is a few tables in the center of the room. There are several chairs. There are also several boxes and crates and various things that you might think a winery might have had. Anyway, there are other members of the vigil there kind of staring at all of you. They're all standing up. You can tell they were sitting down in chairs, but as you enter, as a precaution, they all just make sure things are copacetic, if you will. And Sundar will turn to you all and say, please have a seat. And she grabs herself one and puts herself kind of at the head of the table there. There are enough seats all around for each one of you, including a few of the members of the vigil. Zaldek and a few others kind of just stand up, though, and just kind of lean against the walls. She invites you all to sit down. Do you?
Odessa would actually walk up next to Zaldek, I think that's his name.
Mhm.
And she would walk up next to him and then suddenly be like, oh, hey, and just pop up to her height.
Yeah.
Oh my
Zaldek,
goodness, it's so nice to have to look up to somebody. I assume he's like a little bit
yeah,
taller
he's a
than me.
little bit taller than you. He's about 7 foot tall, so you got about 6 inches underneath him.
This is
And
great.
his arms are crossed and he's kind of staring at the center of the table, but as you mosey on over to him, he kind of leans back a little bit with a quizzical look on his face. His eyebrows are raised somewhat. Are you not going to sit down?
I was saying, does nobody have manners here? And she just walks over to a chair and sits down next to Loom. I assume if Loom sat.
Yeah,
Sounds
Liv
like
has probably sat down at the table, but they've kicked their feet up onto it and like they're crossed over the ankles and they got their arms kind of crossed.
Okay.
And they sort of look over at Odessa and goes, "You realize that when people tell you you should crouch, you should tell them to go fuck themselves, right?"
Well, no, it's always been a little bit easier if I just try to not be noticeable.
That's bullshit, and you know it.
Okay.
At
She
this
sits
po-
down.
You should be proud of your height.
Loom, I'll have you actually sit opposite the other end of the table there, opposite Sundra, for the purposes of this encounter here. And Sundra will kind of sigh for a moment and she'll speak up. We are members of the Vigil. We number only in 10. We started out trying to help with the increase of crime here in the city, but we quickly found out that it was something deeper. Funny thing is, the Vigil was started about 20 years ago when Vecna rose to power. There were many there looking to take advantage of our town then, and my father started it, and I decided to take over the business, if you will. There's really nothing going on other than just us. There's no business, if you will, but every now and then we'll have to move from one area to another just to keep our low profile. But like I said, it started as a watchman community, and those who cared about our city joined up. At least back then, they numbered a good 80. Now it's just us 10. But the blight, for which you had spoken about. Well, you see, we think it's done by magical means. We feel that there is a sorcerer or wizard or some kind of mage, a spellcaster, that is doing it. We found a farmer to the north that claimed they saw someone in his fields that night when he heard his dog barking, saw a green glow, and then was gone. And so that's been our best lead so far. We've investigated the crops and we found no tampering of any kind, really. Just animals dying because there's no food and the crops are all barren. So, well, to call upon the Crown's Guard, the already overburdened Crown's Guard, would be folly. They can't really help out. They're in deep as it is, just dealing with the recent Null attack and whatnot. So they're expecting something. I don't really know what. We've investigated that too, and we don't think there's anything at least happening for a while, but who knows? We're just, again, we're only 10. And right now we have our focus on the blight. So that's where we're about to head over. Zaldek, if you don't mind, get me the map. You watch him head over to the corner there. He lurches off the wall, opens up a small chest and rummages through a few papers and whatnot, and reveals a large map that he places down on the table. He grabs these ornamental brass dials that he puts down as map weights, and he sprawls it across the table there. Everyone can you now see this map here. It's crudely drawn, or at least the outside area is crudely drawn. The city looks pretty decent, but you watch as to the north to the north and the east of the city is a forest that surrounds Alfield, and past that there is a small red dotted line that seems to head up past the forest and into what looks like more farmland. This was where we were heading out to. Well, I mean, before I met up with my team. It's as good as any lead as we have, so I mean, I don't know what we'll encounter, but we have to move quickly if we're to catch them in the act.
Then why do we still sit here?
Good point. Zeldik, gather these supplies, would you? You can see he's already kind of got like a backpack on him that he's been kind of filling up slowly. At the command, though, he will start to fill it up with a bit more. It's just normal supplies. We're talking about rations here, not so much weapons. They do have weapons on them, but he's just kind of loading up a small backpack. For those that want to go ahead and roll, actually, no, Norvad, your passive perception is 17, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You notice he pockets a stone, and he puts it on his belt. Anyone that has a higher passive perception will notice that as well. It just seems like a normal round stone, and he pockets that, and he hands Sundra a package, and hands her her items, which is a crossbow and a long sword, in addition to what she already has on her, which you already saw, the 2 daggers. The rest of the vigil will saddle up as well. They kind of have they all have black cloaks that they pull up as they make their way out. Sundra will go ahead and open the doors. She kind of leads you out, and you guys kind of file out. The members of the vigil will move behind you to make sure that you're out before them.
One last thing.
Yes.
You said your number was 80, and now it is 10. Did the blight take them? Or
No,
did
they were just older members. Like I said, my father originally started this community watch program, and well, those that were part of the original 80 just retired or went on to do something else, or yes, a few of them did die. As far as we are concerned, we try to recruit more numbers, but it's kind of hard. People are desperate, and they're fleeing the town. I mean, not necessarily fleeing it, but they're tired of seeing all their crops, wilt, and they have no other means. They are not as they don't have the resources, and so they don't really want to join up and help us, and that's fine. I understand.
You should be proud of what you and your community are doing for those in Alfield. You are inspiring hope that one day they can go back to the way things were, even if it means your own sacrifice. That is something to be noted.
Well, thank you. I guess I don't ask for praise. I want my town back.
It is not about praise. It's simply about doing. I believe the Everlight will guide your path in all that you do.
The Everlight, huh? Yeah, we'll see about that, I guess. She, at this point, everyone else is kind of left, and it's just you and her at the door, and she kind of just gives you a little head nod.
I'll take a step closer.
Outside of the door.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does she want me to come towards her?
Oh, no. She kind of like, as in like, all right, let's go.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was misinterpreting that.
Sure.
He will just nod and just kind of just watch her for a second, just kind of studying. And then he'll continue on.
Okay. And she closes the door behind you and locks it. And she goes, okay. We'll make an eastern exit right here, following this alleyway, and we'll have to climb over the gate there. I believe, Zaldek, how close to the interval are we? He looks up at the guards that are patrolling the outer wall, and it's not a high outer wall, I will say. It's just a low one, but they are still on their patrol. And he goes, I reckon we have about 5 minutes, so we better make it quick. And he'll kind of hand a lot of you, almost all of you, a grappling hook with a good amount of like rope behind it. And you guys watch as they head and they sneakily move over there. Go ahead and roll me a group stealth check, please.
Is there something that we know that we need to do? Or is it just kind of all right, keep watching?
Well, they kind of motion you over to making your way over to the wall. So, you have to kind of keep a little bit of a low profile.
I will seeing this, immediately hearing the sound of chain, I will walk over to Ekris and place my left hand upon his shoulder as it glows slightly. The Everlight needs to guide your steps, quite literally, as I cast guidance.
Thank you for that.
Have you ever even used a grappling hook before, Chris?
I know how they work, but no, I have not personally used one.
Then you should have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. So hopefully, if I throw it hard enough, it'll stick into something.
Odessa leans forward and says, "Oh no, absolutely. I mean, they're so fun." And she's throwing it. And Kelli rolled a nat 1.
So you haven't even made it to the wall yet, and you're like, "Woo!" King, it lands on the roof next to one of the buildings that you're basically walking by, and it clatters. It makes a horrendous metal on ceramic sound. And let's see if they.
I rolled an 18.
I rolled a 9.
Surprisingly, I got a 17 with the guidance.
I rolled a 7. My allergies kick in.
I rolled an 18 as well.
So we have who rolled the
50-50?
We have Odessa and Harmond. That's it. Okay. Oh, and Lirros too, right? You rolled a 7, you said?
7,
right.
Yep.
So 8, 7, and a natural 1. Okay.
Wow.
So the rest of you, Ekris, you're like you think, all right, maybe I can do this, and you actually have it. You're keeping a quiet foot there. You're watching your chainmail, you're watching your plates, and you're not making large movements. You're shuffling, if you will. And behind all of you, you hear a clattering of this cling, 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 and it falls down onto the ground. And you stop, instinctively you stop and you look around and you hope that no one saw you. Right. At that moment you sneeze and you can see the guard from where you're at right now. You are all in shadow because you're in between the alleyways, correct? However, the guard has kind of now turned over to your direction and is peering off into the shadows, trying to discern if he can see any kind of shape. What do you all do?
Question. We all see the guard?
You can all see the guard, yes. Because now they kind of moved over to, basically align themselves with the alleyway where they heard that noise from.
Norvad, was going to lean over to Loom, but seeing the guard, instinctively, this is kind of a shift. You just see him like instinctively move into view. And he says, "Greetings."
All right, so you're still a good ways. You're about 60 feet away from that wall and the guard who has now moved over to that section of the wall. So I mean, it's quiet, but I mean, unless you wish to move it any louder?
I'll go a little closer.
Okay.
Knowing that people are struggling. Well,
all right.
But it's again, he steps forward. Hello.
You there. Hold right there. Wait there. And you see him kind of move over to where there are these stairs against the wall, and he clanking down all the way, making his way over, and he's got a halberd in hand, and he's not pointing it at you necessarily, but he's like, "What are you doing up here?"
I have permission from Bryce to walk around these streets and help.
I'm sorry, I was not told about you.
That sounds like a problem.
At this point, I'm gonna burn a second level spell cast for sleep. I'm just gonna burn it to wait to see if this situation pops off. I'm going to cast sleep onto. Yeah.
Right in your action. Gotcha. All right. So the guard.
With the nat 1, as soon as Norvad mentions the note, you hear Odessa go, "Oh, I have the note, Norvad. Do you need the note?"
He'll look over to the rest of you. Now he sees the rest of you all in, you're hugging the walls now, trying to keep a low profile, and then cover is blown.
This is Loom, and this is the wall.
I look at him, "Officer, I get it, but we are very busy right now. If you could come back another time, that would be great." And I try the grappling hook again.
Okay,
I'm gonna cast.
Roll for your grappling hook. It's just a regular dexterity check.
And I'm casting sleep. I'm gonna. You're gonna see like the little crimson tendrils go from my fingers and to his chest, and I'm trying to slow down his heartbeat to like a sleeping rhythm, to cast sleep onto him.
Okay,
so cool.
What is
also,
my
I rolled a natural 20 to try to hide again. Just so you know.
Loom, you don't even see yourself right now at this point.
I have to roll it. I have to match above his HP to make sure that he sleeps. It's going to be hard, but we'll see.
All right, go ahead and roll.
So I think I get 5d8 normally, but I add another 2d8 because I kicked it up. So 2, 4, 5, 7. Okay, there we go. Roll this. Okay. So I have 8, 10, 12, 14.
That's more than enough. Just over enough. And you watch as he's about to basically, he's now has his halberd pointed a little bit, not necessarily, in a threatening manner, but it's now pointed because you scared him coming out of the shadows there, Odessa. And he goes, "What's this then?"
Norvad, catch him.
He does not catch him.
He out in the middle of the street there, near the wall, you watch the guard just basically fall down. The members of the vigil are now their jaw is agape, and you can hear them in their mouth.
Norvad actually looks up at Lirros. "I do not think that was necessary."
He seemed to be getting on high alert, and I didn't want him to cause more fuss. He looked at our group with quite a shock and surprise as we were trying to grapple up this wall, so it doesn't seem like he was going to be very receptive of what we were going to tell him.
But if we had permission to do what we needed to do...
Found the note!
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, but I mean, we have permission. They don't. And, we don't want them to end up in hot water. I have an idea. If we take his halberd and, I don't know, maybe his pants, he'll be so embarrassed tomorrow that he will tell no one about what he saw today.
But why the pants?
Gods are normally that way.
It'd be really funny.
gods are normally that way with their egos, so that's actually probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, what's he gonna do? Go into the barracks tomorrow and say, "Hey guys, I should tell you about something. Last night when I fell asleep and lost my pants and halberd, this thing happened." No, he will tell no one.
I think at this point, Ekris is turning to the rest of the members that he's back with. It's like, if I've learned one thing, it's to take advantage of situations. So you should probably keep.
They're already
Yeah.
swinging their grappling hooks, and you watch them go. Yeah, no, we get that, and you watch them all throw their grappling hooks above, and they actually will. Between all of you, I would say there are 3 that they gave to you individually. Odessa, you obviously have the one. Harmond, you'll have the other one, and then whoever else wishes to have the third, we'll take that one.
Am I rolling again?
You could.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I already rolled a 17.
Yes, you rolled a
Earlier.
17.
I'm pretty sure that Loom had the other
Great.
one.
Then go ahead and Loom, roll me a grappling hook check. It's a regular dexterity check. Same with you, Odessa.
Oh, good.
That's a 27.
Woo.
That's
First
a natural
try.
20.
Sorry,
For a
I
total
lied.
of? For a total of?
24.
24. All right.
I lied.
Both
That's
Loom-
a 20. That's a 24 for me.
Oh,
Okay,
we're matching.
great. So Loom and Odessa, you both first try, or for Odessa, it's the second try.
Yeah.
But you swing it up, and you watch as basically this grappling hook goes and without making a secondary sound, just clink, and it's already lodged, perfect for hoisting yourselves up. The members of the vigil are kind of halfway up, and they're basically beckoning you up. Shh, come on. So,
I mean,
you can-
sometimes Lumen, I gotta try twice.
So this wall is not
That's
too
great.
tall,
And the
so
second
it's
one
not
was
that.
good.
This wall is not too tall, so I'm not going to have you roll a climb check in this regard. The grappling hook kind of takes that for you, and you make your way onto the very top of the wall there. You look down the way, and you on the wall, and you realize that there aren't a whole lot of guards up here. You probably could have maybe gotten around with just moving across the wall at a different section. They number thin, so you'll hop over the other side, landing down in a small little brush there to kind of dampen your fall. And you watch as Sundar begins to grab all the grappling hooks and kind of wrap them around, give them back to Zaldek, who puts them in his backpack. And you watch as Zaldek brings out a lantern of a sort, small little candle lantern, and begins to kind of light it. And all right, try to keep up. And he begins to move at a normal pace. He's not. It's faster than a walk, but it's not a full out run. It's a little bit of like a light jog as it moves throughout the brush there. And every now and then you'll hear a branch snap beneath his feet, his large Goliath feet. And you watch as the rest of the members of the vigil basically either are settling up next to one of you or keeping a little bit of a peripheral and a watch as they move throughout this forest.
How far does his lantern illuminate?
Small, within 10 feet.
That's nice. Odessa is going to say, Zaldek, wait a sec. I mean, I can help. I can help. And I'm going to use, apparently I can't actually click this to make it show up. Odessa's going to rummage again in her coat and pull out of nowhere a lantern. She has an ever-bright lantern. So she can shed light in a 120-foot cone.
Yeah. Who here
If
has
she
dark
wants,
vision?
she wants. The closest 60 feet is bright. The furthest 60 is dim.
Okay, so Loom and Ekris have dark vision. Is that what I just saw? Okay, anyone else have dark vision?
I do.
No, okay.
Not right
This
now.
light kind of hurts.
Not right now.
This light kind of hurts. It's a 120-foot cone, and you watch as it just basically becomes this giant truck light that just poof. And the trees, the reflection of the trees are enough to be like, oh wow. And you kind of have to wince a little bit. Your eyes, you're not blinded by any sense of the means of the word, but you tend to keep your eyes away from where that cone is showing. Just as a side note there. But even Zaldik is just like, are you kidding me with that thing? Do you want the whole world to know where we are?
I thought it would be helpful.
I mean, no, it helps, but just does the ever burning lantern have a aperture?
It actually doesn't say. It just says a
Okay.
flame spell, but it's also a bullseye lantern, which does have an aperture.
So yeah, that's why I was asking. I remember
Yeah, I
seeing
mean,
the
if a
picture of
bullseye
it,
lantern
and-
has the aperture that I can adjust.
right. He will actually kind of like, as you're holding it in your hand, he'll close the little barn doors a little bit somewhat, and he goes, all right, that's a little better. Just keep that away from my eyes. All right. All right, thank you. He still has his lantern out, by the way, as he continues to move forward through the brush there. And as you walk out into the night, you can hear owls hooting off in the distance. You can hear an occasional cawing of a raven. And a few of you will look up when you hear that, and you'll see the ravens kind of flying around and whatnot. And
Can I make an insight check on that raven weirdly?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. 13 insight. 18.
You take it as a you take it as an omen. It is, whether it's bad or good is up to your interpretation, but it tells you, it reminds you that that is indeed the way you should be heading.
Okay, so like knowing my relationship or connection with those type of creatures, I know that okay, this is probably
exactly. Yeah, again, whether it's good or bad, you know that this is it's a good sign. It's a sign that it is, yes, that is the correct way that you should fashion. You should be heading, I should say.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention anything to the group. I'm just going to, because we're already doing that. We're just going to continue.
Keep that internal, right? As you move throughout the forest, there, the forest begins to get a little bit more wooded, and you now have to sidestep these trees. You're crunching branches left and right. Every now and then, you have to avoid a few of these larger branches that move and meander out from the bases of these trunks and whatnot. And as you do so, you get to an area that has a slight clearing, and the members of the vigil will tell you, we should try to head along this route right here. Try to avoid the meadow if you can. Does anyone
What's with the meadow?
The meadow.
At the same time.
Yeah. There is a roaming pack of wolves that give us trouble, and we would like to not
Odessa gets this
No.
big grin on her face and turns around to look at Harmond. Hey,
Don't.
you hear
yeah,
off in the
let's
far
not.
distance a wolf howl.
I would like to insight check the wolf howl.
Go for it.
Oh, dang it. My dice fell off the table.
That's your insight check right there. That's it.
Mhm.
That's what you get.
That's what I got. That is a 21.
21. Okay. Do you actually speak any kind of wolf, or do you?
It isn't listed under my languages, but I mean, considering what I am, I'd imagine.
You know what? Roll me an animal handling check, just because, or a nature check, whichever one you prefer.
check.
Just,
Okay.
I mean, you are in tuned to the wolf's howl, so
Yeah, that's 18.
okay. This is the howl that a wolf pack will make when they've picked up a scent and they're calling the rest of their pack.
Oh shit. Oh,
Does women say
God
that?
damn
Does
it.
Harmond say that out loud?
I think they smell us.
Oh, at this Why do you? Oh, feel like I have missed something.
Yeah, listen. You. Oh yeah, you weren't there for that.
I wasn't. Is this the thing that?
Yeah, I
So cool.
kind of. It's a condition. Listen, basically, I can kind of understand Wolf to an extent. Basically, what I can tell you is that they've smelled something. It's probably us, which I don't get because I bathed this month. But like,
I mean, you bathed last night. You look so clean and
yeah, it feels weird.
non-muddy. And I can see your face in like, it's nice. It's a good
Yeah,
face.
I'm gonna have to change that soon. Anyways, yeah, basically they smell something and they're calling their friends, their pack.
Cool. Then I think that is a sign that we should.
Yeah, we should
that.
probably go.
At this moment,
That's good.
Sundar will say, "That may not be good." Hearing up your speech there, Harmond, and we'll say, "We press on. We can't go back now. If they have indeed our scent, then we should make double haste." And she'll pick up her pace as well as the rest of the vigil. I assume everyone else does so. Okay, you guys begin to move through these. Like, again, the shrubbery here is quite thick, and you have to. It's not difficult terrain necessarily, but you do have to, travel and watch your step as you hit these rocks and various roots that come out of these trees, and you're not just tripping over them. But you do make a little bit of time there. You hear now a wolf howl on the opposite side from when you heard the first one. A little bit closer.
I look at Harmond. I believe this problem is a lot closer than we once thought.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're pretty fast, so. And they hunt in packs. Damn it. Great.
Can we try not to hurt them?
I don't know if they'll give us a choice, but I mean, hypothetically speaking, if an alpha can assert dominance, they can intimidate. I don't know. I can try, but I can't make guarantees.
Try.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna look at the others.
Norvad,
Okay.
do you remember this from before?
No.
Okay, then watch again. It's going to be even better because you don't remember it from the first time.
All right. Can everybody be really cool with something for a little bit?
Yes.
Really cool with what?
I
Sundra
can
says.
usually be cool with anything for extended periods of times.
Just don't touch him, Sundra, or we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
I don't intend to touch anyone.
Okay.
What are you about, Harmond?
What?
What are you about?
You'll see. Listen, just don't touch me, don't piss me off, and it should be fine. And I'm going to use my hybrid transformation to turn into my werewolf form.
Okay. Everyone watches as Harmond begins to heave and huff as the spittle begins to kind of fly out in each breath. The nose begins to get more protruded. The teeth begin to come out in sharpened form, and the paws begin to kind of form somewhat from his hands, and he has a more skeletal shape than he did before, and he is now transformed. All right.
Oh shit, that always hurts my back. Oh, fuck my life. Okay, all right, where's the goddamn wolves?
Oh my god. That is really cool.
It's really
yeah,
cool.
really great. Yeah,
You
it's
hear
really
a
great.
much
I turn
now.
What's
Norvad,
that?
isn't that cool?
I'm just staring.
Yeah, Ekris is going to go ahead and just cast Thaumaturgy on Harmond to try and amplify any howls he makes to try to communicate with the wolves. Just be like, I feel like you have this, but just in case, this might help.
All right. Where's the nearest wolf sound coming from?
The last one you just heard, the third one, was now to in front of you. It feels like it's about maybe 50 foot away. Now, what kind of vision do you have in your lycanthrope form?
Oh yeah, I gotta go change that in my D&D Beyond, our wonderful friends,
Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
which features the Blood Hunter class, which I'm currently using. So hybrid transformation, I have to actually physically go in and change from my normal to my hybrid transformation in the customization thing. So it's loading.
Cool.
And
Now at this point, everyone else can roll a perception check at disadvantage though. Whereas I believe Harmond will probably get advantage.
Okay.
Loom
actually,
is
I think I
just
have that advantage.
Loom is just so overcome by how fucking rad this is that they roll a natural 1 on their perception.
At disadvantage,
Same.
I get a 22.
Dang.
That's an 18.
15.
Okay. So
You observe yourself.
so Harmond, do you actually have any what kind of vision do you have now in your transformed?
I believe I have dark vision. Let me see.
Just
That's
regular
under-
dark vision to 60 feet?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
And Loom and Ekris, I know that you rolled poorly, but Ekris, did you roll poorly or no?
Yeah, I rolled a natural one.
Natural one, and then Loom also rolled a natural one, correct? Okay, so you can hear the shuffling around you now, but you do not see anything. Anyone who else rolled here? Norvad and Lirros, what did you get?
15 for me.
16.
And you got a natural 20, right?
No, I just
Odessa?
got a 22.
22. Okay.
Nice.
So
I only got a 17, so it was a 22.
All right. So with the 15, Norvad and Lirros, you do actually also see, as well as Odessa, the wolves out in the distance there. They're kind of moving around. You can see just shadowy forms moving throughout, and you can tell that they number quite a few, and they are moving in somewhat of a circle motion now. They seem to kind of have you all surrounded. Harmond, you can see pretty well now. There is a few wolves. The closest one is about 50 foot away from you specifically within your vision, and it is basically just trouncing around in like a pattern around all of you, basically flanking the rest of the pack as well. Sorry, surrounding you as the whole pack flanks all of you.
All right. Does that one seem to be like the one that's in charge right now?
Yeah, actually, it
Of the
does.
group.
It seems to be a lot larger than the others, and you can tell by the mane of the back of the neck there. It's puffed out quite a bit, and you can tell that is probably the alpha. You knowing a little bit about their I guess community,
Okay. Yeah.
their hierarchy at the very least. Yeah.
Shit, I've never tried this, but I might as well. And I go up. And I'm gonna
All right.
walk up to the alpha. I crack my knuckles. No! Bad! Bad! You shit! No! No!
Try using your shoe. It works.
Roll me a no check.
Roll me a no check.
Is that a
Just an
nature?
intimidation, yeah.
Oh,
Or
that's an
animal handling.
intimidation.
Honestly, you can pick whatever skill you want to use at this point.
Speaking as the owner of a very stubborn dog, it's probably persuasion.
Persuasion. All right, that's a +0. So let's see how that goes.
Is this with the
I
thaumaturgy
shit
too?
you not. I shit you not. That was a natural 20, and I will take the photo to prove it.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing: you also have a plus to that with your your thaumaturgy that Ekris cast on you. You feel the rest of you hear this booming voice, no, and you hear the beginnings of a like the barking back of the wolves, but they stop immediately. They hear you, thunderously address them, and they begin to start to bark loudly. But once they hear the message of what you're saying, they stop cold dead right there in their tracks. They're just, you can hear the breathing now of these wolves, heavy. And the one in front of you is just motionless. The eyes, the beady eyes you can see in the dark now, staring directly at you. The cold breath being seen.
No. And I'm
The-
gonna pull out
the-
from my pouch a piece of the meat that I bought yesterday. If you're quiet, you get it. Good. I'm gonna hold it out for him.
Okay. You watch as in a odd anticipation, the wolf is starting to like move up a little bit with his forward legs, just to, not really sure what you're doing here, and still very hungry, and the rest of the pack is looking to the alpha for any kind of motion to attack or something, and it doesn't really. It's just a little more antsy and begins to move his paws a little bit forward and moves back a little bit again.
Good. Do you want it? Go on. I'm gonna hold it out in front of him.
You watch as the teeth are starting to glare up now.
Hey. No. Come on.
And this, Harmond, he will, the alpha male will begin to sneeze a little bit. And this as a welcoming gesture, not too sure about what you are doing necessarily, but will slowly begin to ease up on you. This is almost a invitation for you to also get closer.
All right, yeah, I go a little bit closer. Go on. Come on. I get
and let me roll here.
Fingers crossed I want wolf friends.
Okay. They make an attack on the meat. They snatch it out of your hands, and you almost don't even have any time to react. That's how fast it is. They were about 5 feet away from you, and they lunged forward and grabbed it and pulled it out. It's gone. In one fell swoop, it's gone. Past their gullet. The head didn't even chew it.
All right, that's a good guy. All right. Okay. Shoo, you can go now. Go on.
Roll
might
me
still be
one
hungry.
more wolf check.
I'll do this as a straight D20 since it's persuasion.
Okay.
That's a 4.
A 4 plus anything with that?
No.
Oh, okay. You hear the other wolves begin to get a little angry. They were waiting for a signal from the alpha male, but at this point they're just getting restless. They're not sure why the alpha male is doing anything but attacking at this moment, right? They're waiting for it to attack, and there's nothing going on. And you start to hear a little bit of the growling happen from the other wolves behind you now, to the side of you all. They seem to number at least in the low 20s.
Does it look like it's going sour?
It feels like Harmond had a good grasp on it in the beginning and is losing it a little bit somewhat right now.
Norvad had just been staring. This is Harmond's moment. But seeing that things are going down, something within him just kind of gets clicks. And using my full 40 feet, I rush up immediately next to Harmond. And before I get there, you see on his right arm that necrosis starts to creep up his skin and go over to his face, and then half of his face goes almost undead.
Oh. All right.
Shit.
As I
You
look
begin to invoke a lot of it then. Okay.
as I use my unsettling presence on the wolf.
Nice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check, or is it a roll that I do? Because I believe that you had Yeah, is it a DC roll that I do or?
So it's more so just he's frightened of me basically, and he's gonna have disadvantage on the next saving throw. But I'm using this to show that we are not the ones to fight.
Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check then. At the very least, roll me
so
that.
Cool.
Okay. That is a 19.
Okay, you watch as the wolf was moving forward a little bit and has now receded back, and you hear the wolves behind him and to the side of him begin to audibly speak. It seems like to the alpha male, and the alpha male goes and has barked at the rest of them. And you watch as the alpha male begin to kind of recede just about 5 feet or so. Has now just, and he's not growling, or at least not barking anymore, but is just biding his time now. He's trying to read you specifically, Norvad. You can see the little beady eyes from the lantern off of Odessa's lantern, the light off of Odessa's lantern begin to illuminate the eyes off the alpha wolf there, which stands about chest level to you, by the way. The head, not the shoulders, the head.
If he moves, if he stays there, it's fine. But the minute he steps forward, I'm going to basically flick him in the forehead, and cause him to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. You watch as for right now the wolves are abated. They seem to not understand where your magic comes from in general. Just they're wolves. Harmond, you watch as the alpha male begin to stare down at Norvad, but will occasionally look at you again and back at Norvad, just to kind of give if you could truly understand what he was thinking. Go ahead and roll me another nature check, or a wolf check, if you will.
Wolf check.
Can Loom have been doing something at this time?
Loom can do anything, yeah.
Nature.
Either one.
Loom is probably, as Norvad walks up to assist Harmon, I think that Loom is going to start basically looking at the rest of the party, including the vigil, and start giving them while they're dealing with this, why don't we start slowly getting people who can get out of here. So it's we're not necessarily going anywhere, but we're trying to get the vigil out of Dodge.
You are completely surrounded though. You hear the wolves at every direction. There isn't one area where they're all at. They're circling around you.
All right.
So you watch as the vigil have their hands on their weapons, ready and poised in case something happens. But they're looking right now both at Harmond and the wolf and Norvad, or all three of them. Harmond, what you feel is going on here is the wolf is trying to ascertain why you, who were perceived initially as the alpha of this group, has now let this other person walk forward and to do their own thing. So they're questioning your status as alpha.
All right, I'm gonna lean into Norvad. Shit. Okay, I think they're questioning my status as alpha.
I do not understand what that means, but I assume you need to be the leader of this situation.
Just for now, although, holy crap, that was really cool. That was really cool, dude.
Then step forward.
Okay, all right. I pat him on the shoulder. I walk forward, and I just kind of grow a bit bigger in front of the alpha. I take out another piece of meat. I go, do you want it?
And I'll step a little bit behind Harmon as a second.
Okay. And you watch as all of the wolves are, for the most part, quiet right now. They're again now looking at the alpha for any kind of signal. And you watch as the alpha will begin to snarl once again.
Here you go.
You watch as the eyes kind of dart back between Norvad and Harmond a little bit.
Come on.
You hear a little bit of growling again from the other wolves.
I'm gonna turn to the other wolves and I let out a bark at them.
And you so the three that were in that area, that direction that you barked, literally just jump up with their front legs and begin to just move back a little bit, and not knowing what you were about in that moment. The alpha will look quickly at his own kind and back at you. So at this moment, Zaldek will speak up. I don't mean to interrupt this very heavy conversation you're having with a wolf here, but I have several pounds of rations we could potentially give them to them.
Oh, that's a really good idea, actually. That's a really good idea. Do you want some meat, boy? Yeah, meat, food. Yeah.
And
okay, I toss
Zaldek. Yeah, you toss it.
Yeah, I toss it on the ground.
He catches almost midair and begins to.
Oh, that's a good boy.
He'll sneeze again. Like he wants to play, but in this moment he's trying to feed his pack. Like he recognizes game, so to speak. And
yeah, pretty much.
But at the very same time, like there's a lot of other juicy morsels out on this field here, and he's trying to placate his poor.
Yeah, he's trying to get his herd taken care of. Okay, guys, let's toss some of our rations on the
Zaldek
ground.
has already begun to open up these little kits and whatnot, and begins like, all right, I don't know if they eat potatoes, but I'll put them in here anyway. And he kind of puts them in like this a pan, basically is what they had with them, and he walks over to you, and as he does so, he's got a large presence. And you're probably how tall are you in your lycanthrope form?
That's a good question. I'd say
you can make it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 6'3", 6'4".
Okay, so still under Odessa's height, oddly enough.
Wait, I thought Odessa was 6 foot.
6'5".
Oh, 6'5". Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm 1 inch taller than Odessa.
Okay, just because. Just
so that way,
right.
when I'm transformed,
I see you.
Odessa is no longer the tallest.
Okay, well, Odessa, since you just arrived back again, just so you know, Harmond in his lycanthrope form is 6 foot 1 inch higher than you.
Wait a minute. He's 6 feet taller than me, or he's 1 inch taller than me?
1 inch
I'm
taller,
1 inch taller
6 foot
than you.
- 1 inch taller than whatever you are.
Oh, I'm so happy for you that you have this little moment.
Yes.
It must feel really good.
It does. It feels really great. I'm not gonna lie. Being the short person.
And so she reaches up and pats him on the head. Good for you, bud. Good for you.
Feels good to have to reach up for once, right? Yep.
It's an inch, friend. I don't think you should get that excited.
I have one.
There are so many layers to that.
I know.
I'll just leave it. But all right. So
there's so many downsides to this, and I get one thing out of it.
Oh, we're back to the. Okay, sorry, we're back to the Sean Connery voice, and I'm having trouble not saying something about it.
Okay, and so you watch Harmond as Zaldek approaches you and kind of just taps you on your shoulder and just hands you the pan and a few various smaller kits that have been kind of torn open. There's a lot here. I don't know if they.
Yep, perfect. I grab it from his hand and I just toss it towards the pack. All right, go on.
The pack immediately begins to investigate it, and then as soon as they notice that it is food there, they all rush to where you threw them. All of them, all about 20 of these wolves now begin to almost sideswiping a few of you just to get to this food there. The alpha wolf has basically stopped, is looking at you directly in the eye, Harmond, as the rest of his pack feeds on the food that is out there before them. And you get the sense of thankfulness. And also in the same previous moment of game recognizes game, there's a bit of respect.
Can Odessa make a small perception check?
You may. What are you trying to percept?
So Odessa is kind of from the middle of nowhere. It's a one stoplight town, let's be honest. So it wouldn't be her first viewing of wolves in general. She wants to know if they're starving.
You look at their form. Their fur is quite thick, so you can't quite see where their ribs might be, but you can tell by near their hindquarters there, just before their flank. It seems like they're a little bit shallow, and you can gather that maybe they don't have a whole lot of animals, as animals are also part of the food chain and get affected by a blight. So these wolves have gotten a little bit more brazen in their recent months and whatnot and weeks, and have looked to go elsewhere. And yes, and so that's kind of what you can gather. They are definitely hungry.
In the arms of an angel.
Don't. You're just gonna make me sad.
All right. I
Kelli
think
and
we're
Odessa.
Okay. At this moment, they finish up all of the food, and you watch as the alpha male, still staring at you, gives a little bit of a huff, and as the other dogs begin to just lick their mouths and whatnot and kind of chomp their lips a little bit, go, and all the rest of them just begin to trot off far off, and you can hear them as they move. The alpha male still staring at you and begins to slowly turn away and running through the various bushes. And that, folks, is where we'll take a break. Welcome back, folks. As we headed into break, the party moved outside of the town of Alfield with a group known as the Vigil, a somewhat a community watch of sorts, as they begin to investigate what caused the blight. They found a lead heading north and took it along with the Wilde Ones, as they're known as, and they made it over past a small forested area where it opened up into a meadow of some sort. At this moment, they heard wolves. The wolves attacked them somewhat, surrounded them, and were about to basically eat them when Harmond decided that he would show up in his alpha male form and in his lycanthrope form. All right, there we go. And began to had a wolf off with the alpha male of this pack. They with several good successful checks and whatnot, they managed to feed the hungry wolf pack and are now heading northward still. The members of the Vigil are still in shock as to what has transpired in front of their eyes, watching Harmond transform into this large werewolf, basically. And you can see now that a lot of them are starting to give you a little bit of distance, Harmond. They're not too sure at this point what to make of you. Have you transformed back, or are you still in this form?
Yeah, I've transformed back now.
Okay.
Although them keeping a distance isn't a surprise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you, Odessa has her current lantern up, illuminating this giant cone of like a train light, basically in front of the party. Zaldik is next to you, Odessa, and still has his little lantern light up, and you guys are continuing to make now not so much hurried anymore. You are now walking at a normal pace as you have fed the wolf pack. You don't know how long that will last, but they have moved on. So, and
as we're walking,
yeah.
I'll saddle up next to Harmond, and I'll just say, "My apologies if I potentially unsettled you. Sometimes I cannot control what happens."
Oh, I was actually just about to say literally those exact words to you. Yeah, I guess we have that in common, you know.
If you being a bestial entity and me being no longer fully of this world is what you mean by similarity.
Yeah,
then
I mean,
guess that is true.
Yeah, you know, we both have a side of ourselves that we can't fully control. But hey, you know, I really appreciate the backup you gave there. It was really kind of you.
I just wanted to be sure that we did not have to fight
those wolves. No. Yeah, no, they're a good pack, you know, they're good wolves. I was gonna say dogs there for a second, but no, they're good. They're just hungry, you know, it's this blight.
I do not understand hunger, but I guess that is a true statement.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
But we obviously have the best boy in our group.
Yeah, but
he's a very good boy.
Am I a good man? Anyway, it's listen, let's focus on taking care of this blight, okay? I guess I should apologize to the others if hey guys, listen, I'm really sorry y'all had to see that earlier.
What, you being cool, or you thinking you were taller than me for like half a second?
Believe me, the only cool thing about that is the fact that I'm taller than you for half a second, and that's very cool. It's really cool. Please tell me that was cool.
Okay, I'll let you have it.
That was really
just
cool,
once.
Harmond.
Just once, though.
Thanks, guys.
Here's the thing. You wanted us to, be cool with that for just a second. I'm cool with that forever. That was amazing. You're very special.
Trust me, the downsides of that really, really outweigh the upsides, but thank you.
I cannot imagine, and I have no experience, so I have to take your word for it. But I will say that the upside is that we all think it's great, and we have no intention of running away from it.
Oh, thanks for that. I do appreciate it. I'm just glad we didn't have to fight those guys back there.
Yeah.
It's never fun to have to harm animals.
And
No.
they didn't. They didn't look so good. So I'm gonna just leave them alone for now.
Can any of the rest of you change your form like that? Because that was very, very neat.
No, I mean, what you see is kind of what you get.
But you come like standard cool. The horns, the red, the eyes. I mean, like it's pretty.
I mean, you look really cool.
Me?
Oh yeah, you do
yeah.
too.
You do.
I was about to say I can, with some preparation, I can change my form.
What?
That is very cool.
It's more of a disguise than a form, though.
To what?
Someone who's from Marquette.
Oh. I mean, that's still really cool. I mean, I can't do shit. I'm just big and in the way usually. But I mean, Marquez, Norvad, can you do? I mean, you already did.
Yes, that's
your face is
that presence.
And Odessa starts to kind of reach out her hand like she's trying to make it better, and then she's like, "Nope, not gonna touch without permission."
It's been slowly going back to just surrounding his arm. He hasn't gone there immediately, but it's been a slow process going back.
I mean, you know what? That makes you very unique.
I think we're all very unique. This is a group of people who have lots of different and cool things that they can do. There's nobody like you.
We are unique, just like everybody else.
Would you say that we are wild?
I think that's a good way of
Yeah.
putting it.
Maybe, possibly. I don't
I
know.
certainly am.
Lirros is very controlled.
Lirros, I bet Lirros, when he wants to, can get real wild.
Do you really want him to get real wild though with the woo-woo meat puppet thing? Like he could make you like do all like never mind. Hi Lirros, how you doing?
Hello, good evening. I'm doing great.
Great. How you doing, Ekris?
Doing good. We're just, that was really impressive. And yeah.
You showed those fools who is really boss.
Thank you. Let's take care of this blight, right?
I think you're gonna need some new clothes though. They're looking a little on the torn side. Little.
Oh shit! Did I tear? Damn it! I just got these off a dead guy. Okay,
I have some spares. You can take this. I'll have to replace it back in town.
Lirros, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Wait, other people carry more than one set of clothes at a time?
I do, yes, certainly.
Oh.
Also, I'm pretty good at mending things. So if you ever need like a hole patch or something like that, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, Odessa's actually going to kind of hang back and until Norvad is next to her. She's going to be like, dude, like take smaller steps because her normal step is like 5 other people's steps. So she's going to just kind of hang back. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Harmond, the clothes you get are in Marquesian make and style, so you look kind of out of place, but you look stylish. So there you go.
Oh, thank you. I feel great. Honestly, I have to pick up so much new clothes all the time. It is a mishmash. That's why I just usually, yeah, I usually just wear what I can find. I appreciate this so much, Lirros. Thank you.
Right as you head northward through the forest, you come across now the outer edges of the forest. You begin to see the forest begin to thin out, and now the moon begins to peer through the canopy, as now the horizon looks a little bleak. You notice that there are a few farmsteads out in front of you, but not a whole lot of activity, and what appears to be boarded up houses. People have probably left town or have called it quits or something to that nature. No animals, barren crops again. And you watch as Sundra begins to look at the map again and take a compass out and look around at surveying her surroundings. And she goes, I think we might be close. And she'll just kind of point off into the distance there. You see a few rolling hills, and off beyond that, you see that the mountain ranges of the like the Ashkeeper range and whatnot. But just a little bit closer to you are these hills, and she'll point out a structure off in the distance that looks very, very shallow, but has every now and then a protruding object. And she goes, I believe that is the Allfield Cemetery that we have around here. Is where we bury our dead. You guys begin to make your way a little bit closer. Norvad, you feel a sense of odd connection with this place. Not that you are in tune with the undead, but you feel you can almost feel the hollow presence of the grounds you're about to walk on, or even around. And Sundar will make a note and say, all right, we can stop here for a moment here before I get my bearings again. I seem a little discombobulated, and she'll just rummage through her map and whatnot. And you're all resting at this moment, taking canteen waters and whatnot. You watch the vigil do this as they also munch on a few little granola bar looking things as they,
Would you say this is a short rest?
It could be a short rest.
I said no. I don't know how long we're going to be here. That's all.
Okay. It's a. She was going to stop for about 10 minutes. They're just taking a small little break, as they kind of just catch their breath for a moment, making sure that the wolf pack is now far behind them. Just to make sure there's a good gap between that. They don't have that annoying them or nipping them at the heels, if it were. If anyone wants to roll me a perception check in this area.
How close are we to the cemetery?
You are about, I want to say about 100 feet or so, 90, 80 or so.
Well, that's Kelly's second natural one of the night.
So
I see nothing.
Gil,
Literally.
Oh.
Yeah.
18.
Because of my Hunter's Bane, I get advantage on wisdom checks for tracking Fey Fiends and Undead. Do I get advantage on this perception roll on the right part?
You don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. No.
All right. Good to know. That is a perception plus 4. That is a 23.
23. Anyone?
11.
Only a
All right. So anyone who had above a 17 will notice that there is someone appearing to be moving throughout the cemetery. It's kind of a large cemetery here. It's on actually two different hills, although they kind of connect near the center where the hills are. The little valley in between these hills there. The larger one of the hills has more of the cemetery plots and whatnot. There's a few mausoleums. There are a few statues that kind of adorn the whole way there. There is a wrought iron fence surrounding it that looks a little dilapidated, a little broken in some places, because it's probably the distance away from Allfield. You have to travel to this point at all, which means that no one's going to really be keeping it up. So I believe it was just Ekris, right? You rolled a
18.
18, and then anyone above a 17 will notice that there is a figure moving on the opposite end of the cemetery.
I'm not going to roll, but I am in that downtime of 10 minutes. I was going to mention that I was sitting down, meditating, casting aid, and you'd see the tendrils kind of come off of my body and link up to Loom, Harmond, and one to myself.
You also, if anybody is looking, doesn't matter if you're not, but you notice that Norvad is staring at the cemetery, and he has the blankest expression that he has had thus far. He always has a pretty, poker face, but it's almost as if he's lost in something right now.
I mean, Odessa rolled a nat 1, but she had kind of stayed back to be next to Norvad, kind of check on him after the whole death face thing.
You see this. You're not paying attention to the cemetery. I'll put it that way. But you watch as Norvad basically stops and takes in the view in front of him, and you notice the blank expression.
She'll reach her hand out a little hesitantly, and she just kind of taps him really gently on the shoulder. Norvad. Norvad.
Something is familiar. Not this place, but what it is.
You got like deja vu, something like that.
I crawled out of a grave.
Oh.
But I do not know why.
So Odessa, I mean, she has the expression on her face at first of, anybody whose friend has just said, I crawled out of a grave. And then she kind of self-corrects and a little bit gingerly puts her arm around Norvad's shoulder and gives him a side hug and says, but you're not there now, and that's the important part. Now you're here.
Which side are you on, Odessa? Just give me a side.
The left?
You're on the left side. So when you put your arm around, you're touching his right shoulder, correct?
Right shoulder. Mm-hmm.
Norvad, do you want to describe that feeling to her?
It is very, very cold.
Abnormally cold, colder than the surrounding area that you're in right now. You're in the dead of night, and yet this feels oddly cold.
You don't feel the warmth of blood running through.
Odessa looks sad for a minute. And then she kind of uses it as an excuse, like rearrange his sleeve. We really should get you a coat. You seem awful cold.
I cannot tell.
Well, I can. So I make the executive decision that we're going to get you a coat. I would give you my coat, but my coat has all my things in it.
He looks over at Odessa. This damn gator! Sorry. How does it feel?
How does what feel, my coat?
How does it feel to feel? I do not know what it feels like.
Well, sometimes it can be really, really good. When you're happy and you have people who love you and who are your friends, then it can feel really good to feel, But sometimes, a lot of the time, sometimes it's not so great. Sometimes you're sad a lot. But Then you have friends who come to you and tell you need to buy a coat. So we're going to get you a coat.
Can friends help me figure out why I cannot feel?
I absolutely can.
Then I am glad to have friends.
We've got lots of friends. Look at all our friends. One of our friends turns into a wolf. We're not going to talk about that. I think he's a little self-conscious. But look at all our friends. My friends are so cool. Look at our friends, Norvad. And she just kind of surveys everybody.
As she's talking, he reaches down to his belt and pulls the symbol of Ray, and he holds it, kind of squeezes it. Perhaps this is why the Everlight has guided me to you and all of you.
I mean, well, possibly, but I mean, if you're gonna say, you know, okay, that God is the God that you're gonna follow. I mean, I think isn't there a lot of gods? I don't know. I'm not big on religion. Well, I mean, if we're gonna take that tack, I mean, maybe they guided us to you because maybe we needed help.
Perhaps.
I mean, I don't have any other friends who can do that really cool thing you just did.
Well, we will find out why our paths have become one soon enough.
Yep. And until then, we're going to go get you a coat. And she just kind of leads him towards everybody with her arm around his shoulder. And we're not going to think about cemeteries. Well, I mean, we have to because we're about to go into one, but we're not going to think about them as in we crawled out of one. We are no longer in the cemetery. It's the royal we, Norvad. It's both of us, even though I wasn't there the first time.
I believe I understand.
Okay, good.
Ekris, around this time, you noticed that figure on the opposite end of the cemetery.
About how far is it?
The
figure?
The cemetery itself seems like it's around 200 feet by maybe 150 feet or so on this particular hill. There is the other one on the northwestern side that's a little bit smaller, still sizable, but not as big as the one you're at. It seems like you are currently walking, you have jumped over the wrought iron fence there and are near the corner of one of them, and catty corner to the other area is where you saw the figure kind of moving around. There is a good amount of fog now that has been accumulating around this hill.
Yeah. Ekris will he's gonna go ahead and just kind of cast moving probably a little bit a ways away from some of the rest of the group, trying to get a better vantage point. And going to cast Detect Good and Evil to have that up.
Okay, and what's the radius on that?
The radius is only 30 feet around myself, but it stays up for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, copy that. So you take note of this figure and you begin to, as this aura basically emanates from you. It's not really necessarily a seen visible aura, but those that are nearby you have a interesting, somewhat like a warm meal has just been ingested in their stomachs and is kind of riding in there. A little bit of like a warmth in their stomachs. So, okay.
Yeah. And we'll Ekris will pull out his greatsword too, which just kind of slowly starts to emanate moonlight from it. And just try to kind of stay around the perimeter, close to the group, but moving around to just change up the vantage point.
Okay, great. Anyone else? What's everyone else doing? Sorry.
I was paying attention to Norvad, so I assume
you're
not.
currently walking back with them. Yeah, to the group.
From
Lirros,
Loom.
Harmond.
Yeah, if Ekris if Ekris in any way like signals to the rest of the group that something is going down, Loom is probably going to like go into
He
stealth mode.
he doesn't seem to have done that.
Just-
What you do
yeah.
notice is that his sword is now out of its sheath, his large two-hander, and it is emanating a moon glow from it. So it mirrors what the moon, or one of the moons anyway, is doing currently to the ground around you.
Ekris, are you just getting ready?
There's someone or something over there.
You look in that direction and you don't see anything necessarily right now.
What if Ekris does have something over there? I believe him. And Loom kind of nods and pulls their hood back up over their head and like is going to do the pull.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
The disappearing act, hopefully. Not great. They said only
a 12. In the fog-ridden cemetery, there are various tombstones. You think you might be able to kind of hide between them, though you're not too sure. The moonlight is illuminating this entire thing, and it's pretty much at its zenith right now, so there's not a whole lot of shadow here. There's no canopy of any kind of trees nearby. Okay, Lirros and Harmond, what are you two doing?
I think I'm just accompanying the group. There's nothing that Lirros can do at this time that would be helpful. I'm kind of just probably in the middle of the group and trying to pay attention to my surroundings and pay attention to the group in general, like their overall well-being. Just doing, just cleric things.
Okay. At
Hashtag
this moment,
just cleric things.
Yeah. So Harmond, anything? Are you specifically doing anything right now as well, or just kind of hanging out?
I just realized I was muted. Probably not doing much. He's
Okay.
changed into the Marquesian clothing at this point.
Right.
Sing with Lirros.
Okay,
Had a
great.
Snack.
You watch as the vigil will members of the vigil anyway, they're kind of keeping their eyes out and about on the perimeter. Two of them have a spyglass as they begin to survey the horizon, not really stopping for anything, just kind of bringing it down again and bringing it back up to their eye as they slowly move around the horizon. At this moment, though, all of you do see a green flash at the other end of the cemetery, just like a and die down again. At this moment, you watch the vigil begin to look in that direction. They begin to look at each other and now are gathering closer to each other to whisper into their ears and going as they point off in that direction. A few of them
moving in.
Saldek seems to have grabbed his pack and has now moved it over to his shoulder. You watch as he kind of readies his large, like, war hammer. It's large. It looks like a cinder block on the end of a stick, basically. And he kind of just hoists it up on his back there. And he goes, I think we may have found something. And he points off into the distance there. You don't see any hint of that green light anymore. You don't really see a whole lot. But the vigil is now starting to stir.
It looks like we might have a problem.
Just give me the word, and I'll rush in.
Rushing might not be the plan, but stay vigilant as you have been.
Odessa pauses as she starts to take a snack out of her bag. Wait, what? Vigilant? What? What, Norvad?
There was the flash of green.
A flash of light? Okay. I mean, I guess. And she kind of starts looking around a little panicky.
Sundar will approach you now and address you all. I think we may have found something. Did you all see that green light at the other end there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's as good as we've got. So keep your wits about, and we'll try to move stealthily from here on out. We'll just try not to draw too much attention. And she kind of points off in the distance there. There's a larger mausoleum towards the center of the cemetery there. And she tells you, if we make our way this way, pointing to the east, we can probably use this as cover, at least for a good portion of the way. And we can probably make up a good portion of time in that moment. After that, I don't know. We'll have to take it as we see it. She, readies her stuff as well, and she begins to kind of like have her blades ready. She flips them out. Loom, go ahead and give me a perception check as she does so. Okay. You just watch her get ready, basically, and she kind of moves forward. She's almost leading the group there, and she moves over to where the mausoleum is in the center that you all follow, almost single file in a way. Can I get a marching order?
I assume Ekris.
Ekris will probably be near the front. I'm not quite sure
12.
where Loom went.
Yeah, I think Loom is definitely in the front. Yeah, Loom is in the front.
Loom and Ekris are in the front.
I'll be right behind.
Okay.
It'll be next to Norvad.
I am going to be in the middle, so I guess that puts me in front of Norvad.
I'd probably be next to you. I want to be in a good section between as well.
Okay. So
Yes, that
the
means
three of you-
Odessa's bringing up at the very end.
I'll be in the back next to Odessa then, so that way it's 2, 2, and 2.
Okay, so we have Loom and Ekris, Lirros and Norvad, and Harmond and Odessa. Copy that. And you make your way to the mausoleum. You begin to kind of peer out through the sides of this large central structure here. This mausoleum is quite large. You imagine that whoever owns this plot of land has quite a bit of money, as they have almost a two-tiered structure with a large statue on top of an angel with her wings basically sprawled out, and almost a welcoming gesture. And you begin to peer out. Go ahead and for those of you, actually, let's just go with Loom and Ekris for now. Give me a perception check.
$16.
My dice have turned on me.
9.
9.
Ekris, you do peer out, and Loom, you're kind of under him somewhat, as he's a little bit taller than you, and his chain was kind of in the way. It's kind of annoying actually, because he seems to, like, every time you move your head, Loom, he moves his arm down somewhat. But Ekris, you do see that at the opposite end there appears to be another smaller, not a flash necessarily, but a green glow that does die down once again, almost solidifying where you need to go. And Sundar will kind of approach you and goes, "Yeah, you saw that as well, huh?"
Yes. We should probably keep moving towards it.
Yes. And she looks around as you survey the cemetery headstones and whatnot, and it's a little bit of a hopscotch away, but you kind of do the Scooby-Doo run to the one potted plant, and next over to the behind the door, etc. And you do make your way there. Go ahead and everyone roll me a stealth check, just because.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna guidance myself too.
Okay.
That's a 13.
13, 10.
10.
I don't get to use the natural 20, but I got a 16.
16.
19 for me.
19.
9.
9.
2 nines in a
Norvad?
row. Man.
24.
24. Okay. So that 9 basically cancels out with all the rest of your rolls there. Even at a 10, it's not great, but you're able to not make a whole lot of noise as you're moving around. The cemetery doesn't have a whole lot of foliage and branches and whatnot for you to accidentally step on, but occasionally one of your scabbards or whatnot will kind of catch the lip of one of the headstones and make a small noise, but nothing big, nothing out of the ordinary. You do see at this moment a crow kind of just fly away and begin to, as you approach this area here, and you can see now that there is a figure outside of what looks like another mausoleum, a larger mausoleum similar to what you were in at the center. You see the figure, and then you watch another figure emerge from the mausoleum. And at this moment, you can kind of see the robes that this individual is wearing. They seem to be long, and they have a green accent, black mostly, or at least a darker charcoal gray with a green outline. And he spots all of you at this moment. The farmer in front of him, what looks like to be some kind of a peasant or whatnot, has not noticed you all, but as this sorcerer has emerged, he looks over at you. You watch his hand move up, and a greenish glow begin to... But that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Oh, no.
How dare you?
Oh boy!
Wow.
How dare indeed.
How dare!
How dare. Omega.
Oh, yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm like, let go DM, go. No, thank you all so much for being here. This has been episode 3 of Let's Get Wildemount. Let's go around and introduce ourselves and say who we are. As we finish up the giveaway for the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, a digital copy courtesy of D&D Beyond. We're going to start with our best boy, Harmond, aka Mike.
Hey guys, I'm Mike. You can find me at Mike, I guess, on Twitter or on Twitch, where I occasionally will stream visual novels. And you can find me every Saturday here at Let's Get Wildemount.
All right. The other best boy, Scotty, which means Kelly.
We all know who's the real star of my Twitch channel. Come on now. Hi, I'm Kelly, mostly known as the Opera Geek. This is Scotty. Obviously, I was playing Odessa, and you can catch me pretty much everywhere at the Opera Geek on Twitter, here on Twitch. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I'm currently trying to play through my Steam library while pretending to clean up my Animal Crossing island on the side. It's not going so well. You can catch me also on Mondays on Wandering DM's channel, playing a wizard. Yeah. In Rime of the Frost Maiden. And on April 11th is the finale of Ash and Ruin, our Great Depression era Vampire the Masquerade game. So, yeah.
Aki.
Hi, everybody. I am Aki. You can find me on Twitter over at Mixed Genie and a Bottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. And my entire Twitch schedule is over on my personal Twitch stream, which I will eventually start doing again when it doesn't make me depressed to do so. And that is twitch.tv/ShidariAki. That's SHIDAREAKI.
I love you for that, by the way. I love you for that. That's...
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Nick.
It's an idea I got from somebody else. So
Nice. I'm Nick on the internet. You can find me at Nick the Tiefling on TikTok and Twitter primarily. And yeah, happy to be here playing Ekris with this wonderful cast.
Gil.
Actually, I believe
shit. I miss Michael. Oh my God, Michael.
That's all right. It's Lirros mode. I'm just like on.
I'm sorry. No, I literally was like, yes, there's Michael next, and I didn't say Michael.
No, it's all good. So yeah, I'm Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere on Twitter and Twitch. I am in Fateforge Academy podcast, which drops every Friday. I am in Second Star to the Right, which the show airs on 4 p.m. I want to say on Fridays. And yeah, and then I'm going to be starting to play Magic the Gathering on my Twitch channel again because a new set is dropping. And then after that set is a D&D set. I think it's the Forgotten Coast or something like that. So I need to get back into it. And I'm going to try and play Commander with people. I think I want to set that up at some point. So anyway, that's me.
Nice.
I'm so sorry. Gil.
Hey folks, my name is Gil Ramirez. You may know me as Gil the Vlogsmith just about everywhere. I make metal stuff. That's about it. But you can find me on my own Twitch at, again, Gil the Vlogsmith, where I stream pretty much space pew pew every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific.
And you all know me, Omega Jones, also known as Kjeldgaard, doing too much, playing games with Aki over on Saving Throw Show, doing all the things on Twitter. April 17th, you can be here or go watch it. I'll actually be a part of a Broadway Con panel with Anthony Rapp, Blue Del Barrio, Andy Miantis, Serena Marie, and Josh Lemon as we talk about TTRPGs and D&D and how we as theater folk have kind of come over to this world during the pandemic. Also, right after this, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, just a bit. Come back to my channel because today is actually my 1-year stream anniversary.
What?
So I'll be doing a subathon, playing some games with some friends, having a good old time. Come back for that and enjoy that. We're going to go ahead and give that giveaway. Go ahead and block somebody.
I want to say thank you to Mythomatic too, by the way, for the glue that holds the stream together. Thank you so much. He's the man behind the curtain.
Yes.
Yeah. And it wouldn't run as smoothly as it does without him. So
and the winner of our giveaway is Abyssal Ekris.
Ooh, that is a name.
Nice.
I will be reaching out to you to get your digital copy of Explorer's Guide to Wildemount. Again, thank you all so much for being here. If you have liked what you've seen and you want to help the cast out and support them in their journeys, there's a command to that's a lie. That's the command to send a little tip their way and show them some love. With that being said, we are going to go raid Breezy Voices, who is currently doing some DM prep right now. Wanted to show some love to other folks in the TTRPG community. Thank you all so much for being here, and until we get wild again, see you next week.
I love you all.